What's up, everybody? This is Hush, aka How You Stop Him, aka Voice of Reason, aka No Noise, aka Unstoppable Hush. And welcome to Tell It How It Is, No Filter. This is episode 156. What's going on, everybody? I don't praise it. I already kind of mentioned this before. You know, Black History Month is February, our month, but this is President's Week or President's Day or whatever. Like I said, they always try to involve themselves into our things. You know what I'm saying? If you know who I'm talking about. But either way, it's President's Day, and just for Barack Obama's sake, we're going to give it a little love. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of love. So shout out Barack. That's the only real president I'm showing love. I guess Clinton was okay. You could sit here and argue the few that were to your liking. For the kids, they're out of school. Hope they use this time to refresh, relax, but still stay educated because the grind don't stop. A vacation is merely just a reset. You feel me? We cannot take our eyes off the ball. We've experienced the All-Star Weekend. That was in Cleveland. Dope for LeBron's sake and all of LeBron's fans. All the festivities was good money. You know, we had a lot of celebrities there. That's always there, but now they was able to perform. DJ Khaled brought, a couple heads out. So it's becoming more musical, which is cool. The 3-point contest was probably the highlight of Saturday for me. Shout out Carl Anthony Towns. He won the 3-point contest for a center. I don't know if that, I would have to Google that and come back because I don't know if that's ever happened. A center winning a 3-point contest? Center. Even if they got him like power forward, he could be center. Dope. The dunk contest was not as exciting. Shout out Obi Toppin's New York Knicks. Y'all got a trophy. I mean, that might be the only trophy y'all see. Sorry to jab y'all. I'm a New York representative. But that's probably it for y'all. But Obi Toppins nonetheless took the trophy. Team LeBron won the All-Star game. They saying that he's 5-0 ever since this started. So Team LeBron versus Team Durant. Durant, I want to give you a special prayers and condolences. I heard your grandmother passed, and he didn't attend the All-Star Weekend. I just have a moment just for his grandmother passing and prayers for his family. Stay strong. Yeah, that was a turn for the left. So I wanted to get into what else in the current events. That takes all the attention because nobody paid attention to anything else if it was just about All-Star Weekend because we know Super Bowl was prior and now that. So we have the rest of the basketball season to deal with, and I think baseball comes in the next month. March Madness, college. Yes, that's coming among us. We people who are really into that. I never really knew how important that is as well. I guess some of us are simplistic, NBA, even the NFL. That's easier to follow because it's like a set amount of teams and that's it. And even then you don't know every player unless you're really engulfed like that. So when it comes to college, like college football and now college basketball with this March Madness and the road to Sweet 16 and Final Four, it's hard. It is so many schools. I used to think there was maybe a school or two a state, and even if that's the truth, that still's 100 schools. And I just can't keep up. So for you who could keep up with all of that, that's just dope. And I know people who are into all of these teams. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you I got the app. We all have an app if we want to be nosy and want to engulf a little bit, like the ESPN app. It could tell me the college teams, who's first, who's second, but I don't just know that off rip, you know what I mean? So I say that to say, damn, that's a lot to follow, you know what I mean? But it's big. It's important for a lot of folks. So dope. Shout out for that. Kind of just winging it like always. I don't want to jump too early into my topic because it may not carry the length. Any other events that happen. Not really. I didn't notice the pain in Mary J. Blige song with Dave East, Rent Money. I think they was interviewing her and it still hurts. You know, that divorce with her husband, ex-husband, trying to get all her money and alimony and all this crazy shit where she had to pay. And now she was struggling for a second. I didn't know that story. You know, shout out to 50 for taking her on Power and getting her a bag. She needed that. That's crazy, you know. I mean, I also say though, I didn't want her to catch it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want her to go through that per se. But men go through that all the time. But because we're not loved, you know, Chris Rock said the only people loved unconditionally is women, kids, and dogs. So like nobody feels bad when a man takes a hit like that. Really. So we go through that all the time with us, you know, having to give up half and our money and our properties and shit like that. So that happens so often. There's no kind of like, damn, that's crazy that he went through that. But you know, for Mary to go through that is like, damn, I didn't really want her. Because she's already gone through so much. Everybody knows who follows her. You know, the My Life album is like the dopest album in the world. We was joking about doing verses. If she did a verses, who could she do one with? And I can't really pick a opponent. So, yeah, she already went through all of that. So to go through this divorce and the money. Anyway, that song Rent Money or whatever with Dave East kind of brought back the fact that she still went through shit and still goes through shit. Even though on the flip side, when you see in the cameras and all of that, she look like she good. Some damages just never really go all the way away. You know what I mean? But shout out to her. I hope she's, you know, maintaining mentally the best that she could. Because you could be successful and on the appearance tip, it looks like everything is sweet. But in reality, you still struggling here. You know what I'm saying? So that shout out for that. I mean, I guess I'm going to go in and it may be a little shorter edition today. And it don't got nothing to do with the holiday. Everybody's baggage. Man or woman. When you're dating, when you're getting into relationships, when you're taking things serious, what is your cutoff? What is your limit? Are you meeting this person? You know, that's why they say you got to ask the important questions right away. I guess from date one, whether y'all go to dinner. That's why a first date, if you want to get discussions going for real though, I guess a bad first date would be the movies. You got to go somewhere where conversation, dialogue. So it most likely has to be a dinner. You can get creative from there. But somewhere we got to talk. Golf. Bowling, pool, stuff like that, you know, so you can get a conversation going. So what is this conversation? You go right in. You go right in. You don't be real modest, you know. What's your goals? Where you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years? Have you ever been married? How was that? Kids, how many? How's that going? How's the interaction with the other parent? Where's your finances at? You don't have to give like ballpark figures, but are you low in the credit? Are you decent? You know, are you in the midst of repairing that? Do you have a plan? You know, I hate, you know, this is stuff, you know, women probably already know this, already use that strategy. Men, do we do that a lot? Not probably right away. But everybody has a fair shot to do that. Because again, what is your limit? So I think there's no right answer to this because it's up to what you want to deal with. Because what is your real intentions? You know what I mean? Like, do you really want a soulmate? When they say there's no such a thing. Do you really want someone that you know you can be with? They're enough. They complete you where you're cool. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make it perfect. It doesn't make it a soulmate. It just makes it the right person for you based on what your likes are and what you expect. So if that's the main focus, does these questions and approach does these questions and approaches matter? Yes, you still should ask all these questions. You should still want to know shit. No doubt. We can't take that away no matter what. But how do you weigh where you're going from there? So after this first date, or maybe even 2 or 3 dates, and this conversation has carried, you've gotten most of the answers. Now you decide what you're going to do with this. It's tough because a lot of people could be bitter from giving that a shot before. Maybe, the right person for you, let's just keep it tall. The right person for you is the right person for you. I don't think that there's a certain life they have to be the right person for you. It's if you want to stomach and troop it through all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to say don't let past stuff affect your future. But if the past person, you kind of forgave things about them or was willing to work with them and it didn't work out, it just didn't work out because that wasn't the one for you. I'm not saying to turn right around and go right into another situation with them same baggages that they had, but it's a different person because everybody handles situations differently. So let's say you meet 3 guys or 3 women in a row that all have 2 kids. The first person you chose with the 2 kids, maybe they don't got their shit as together, not even mentally, as another person with 2 kids has. So I'm scrambling and going all about the place, but what I'm trying to say is use here to decide, but don't let influence or judgment or anybody else try to tell you how to choose your shit because it's for you. I hear a lot of shit. And I'm not trying to get too personal with it, but, there's no one. Everybody's a critic and telling you what you should not put up with, what you should expect, how you should be. That's dope if that's genuine. If they really mean that and they really wish the best for you, you can't ask for no more. But it's just funny to me that I feel like a lot, not everybody, I don't have a number, a lot of people that criticize, they settle in for less than that. You know what I'm saying? Or they shit ain't together. And that's fine. The thing is, you draw attention to yourself when you sitting here trying to act like your shit is all the way tight and it's not, and you want to criticize somebody for giving it a fair shot. And it's not pity. It's not pity. It's not charity. It's how you feel. Every person is different. A lot of people got issues. A lot of people got baggage. It's almost nobody out here that they shit is solid all the way tight, no issue at all. And if it is on paper, mentally something's wrong. So pick your poison. And listen, I'm not judging. If you go, I hear you, hush, but I'm still only doing X, Y, and Z, that's fine. But don't think there's an easy way out or a cheat code. You still have to put in work whether there's baggage or not. And to be honest, sorry, I apologize. I find it a little more challenging, a little bit more question marks when there's no baggage. If shit is together. Because it's like, okay, now I gotta search for what the issue is. Because you don't have to search. It could be mental. And that don't mean that's a deal breaker. It's still probably your best favor. It could still be in your best interest and you can still say, yo, this is dope. Oh, that's the issue? I can handle that. So it's no judgment. I'm just saying you want it right on the table where you know what most of the issues are and could be? Or do you want to have to search for that shit? Because again, having a clean record on paper, now you got to dig for what's wrong. And it's usually, and it don't mean all the way like they nuts and you got to put them in a friggin' Bellevue. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying something's wrong. Whether it's insecurity, confidence, whether, I don't know. It could be so much. And that's that part. You don't know. But when you go on a date and they lay the baggage out, you're hoping that, okay, this person has 600 credit score. This person has 2-3 kids. This person has a little bit of a credit card debt. You know what I mean? So these are being placed on the table, and you're like, pointing those all out. Now you just hope mentally, at least they're tough, and there's no other hitting issues, which there'll still be something. But if you can get at least that on the table right away, that's how you can make your decision on if you staying or not, or dealing with that. Versus, again, I can't stress it enough. It's a little repetitive. The person who has no baggage to put on the table, meaning you meet somebody, is no kids. Your credit score is almost 800. Anything above 7 is dope. Credit card debt's like under control. They're almost done. Career is dope. Shit sounds sweet, don't it? And that's man or woman. Whoever's doing the investigating. Something is wrong. There's this thing called no perfection. Something is wrong. And that, again, listen, you pick what you want to deal with. Hands down, without a doubt. But what I'm saying is, you're either going to have to sit through it longer to try to see if there's something wrong that you can't deal with, or you're like, alright, you know what, so far so good. I like how it sounds. Versus shit is placed on the table and you're like, off the rip, I'm already analyzing, could I deal? The point though, again, I don't feel it's fair to judge that person based on what has happened, what baggage they have or don't have, because sometimes you got, I don't know, this may go over heads. Sometimes you gotta have shit go left, go through this, jump over mountains, go through hurdles. Sometimes you gotta have that to get tougher, to be ready for whoever you supposed to be with. You need like a challenge. You get pushed. I don't know who's religious or not out there. I always throw one in there ever so often. God is gonna push you. A higher being is gonna push you. If you don't have no religion in your life, something's gonna push you. It makes you tougher. You know, the problem today is that people that don't go through much, they're spoiled. They expect. And sometimes they don't value stuff to the core, like people who went through shit do. And listen, live your life. Go your own path. I'm just saying, if you ain't been through shit really, and you have friends or people around you that could give you stories that's spooky for you, you better be grateful. But you are. But that don't mean you handle your life and go about your day in a grateful way. You might just be saying, whoo, I dodged some bullets. Yeah, nobody wants to take a bullet if they don't have to. But I just know sometimes it takes that to be tough. Be tough. Again, not to get too personal. If I can, the higher being comes to me and says, hush, if there's 2 things you've went through, 1 or 2, that you could take back, I have the power to take them back right now, what would that be? I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm probably going to annoy him, and he's going to wind up changing his mind on taking them back, because I'm going to sit there and have a conversation first. I'm not just going to jump the gun to get the easy way out. Oh, take away this. Whoever knows me personally knows the 2 things that might get taken away. But I still would have a discussion, because I feel like nobody wants a predicament that they don't have to deal with, but I do approve of how strong I am today. So maybe I needed it. Sounds a little crazy. Should I take full advantage? Because how often are you offered to take back something that didn't really go your way? You should take full advantage. That's up to you. I feel like, do I lose any toughness behind going back and saying eliminate this part of my life or take away what I went through that? If I keep the same mental and physical toughness I have right now as I speak to you, I keep that, then yeah, we may take one thing, or I may take one thing away. I ain't gonna hold you. But it gotta come to that. Because again, sometimes going through shit makes you tougher. This easy way out and just shit handed to you, it's corny. It's corny. Because you know what? Life's unpredictable. So tomorrow shit could be taken away and then you like, what the hell am I gonna do? If somebody give you $1,000,000 today and then tomorrow is gone and you never went through nothing, you never grinded, you never really earned any of that million, and it gets taken away, what the fuck are you gonna do now? You might be able to salvage and scuffle and go recklessly to try to survive, right? I ain't mean scuffle, you know what I'm saying? Scramble. But it's not gonna be easy. And I think that's the purpose of life. That it's gotta be rough times. It's gotta be smooth times. It's gotta be a little more rough times and a little more smoother times. It's a balance. It's give, it's take. It's, shit has to go that way sometimes. And, I don't really have regrets that people would think, who knows me personally, should think that I should have these regrets. You shouldn't have regrets either. Because, especially if you went through shit. I would have regrets if I ain't go through nothing and I don't know nothing. It's like your body. Like, I had another conversation. I won't mention names specifically, but I had an aunt that passed, right? Cancer. Yeah, a moment for that. I don't know. I wasn't with her 24/7, 365, but I do know what I did see was a healthy black woman. Like, no fast food, no smoking, no drinking. I didn't see. Again, I'm not 24/7, 365, but the picture she painted, that's key to health, right? You would say what you eat, no smoking, no drinking. What else? That's like top notch. If you can have that on your resume, I think you should live. I know there's genetics, there's things passed down, especially COVID. But my aunt was way before the COVID era. But COVID and whatever else is out here killing us today. But I think that sounds like a good resume if you can say that about yourself. How you never eat fast food, you always eat mostly healthy things, fruits, vegetables, no fried food, no smoking, no drinking. I got you living to at least 100. I can't say that though, because this is an example right here. If that was her life, I think she only made it to 60-something. Now take my grandmother, 99. God bless. 99 years. She ain't smoked. She was a little junk food here and there, not crazy. She drank a little bit. You know what I'm saying? This is no judgment here. This is the best woman on earth to me. But little drinking, little bit of junk food, ice cream, whatever. No smoking though. And she made 99 years. My aunt, none of that. 60-something. Who the fuck? How can you predict this shit? How do you know how long you're going to be here based on how you carry yourself? So the point is, I got a little off track again. With that comparison, I was talking about your body not used to anything uncomfortable. If you always ate right, if you don't drink, you don't smoke, your body doesn't experience bad. So now when something does go left, it may not know how to handle it because it's always been taken care of. Not to say like this is psychotic to tell you to purposely put something bad in your body. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is if you have stuff you like that may not be so healthy for you, your body gets introduced. So now if something doesn't agree with it, it has to fight it. This is where your immune system comes into play. How strong is it? So you don't intentionally harm yourself health-wise. But what I'm saying is if things are introduced that may not be the best thing to have, you still give your body a challenge to fight. And it needs to know how to fight because there's going to be things you can't control. A cold, a flu, a stomach ache, a headache, These are things, I don't give a fuck how healthy you are. These are things you're gonna have. You think you're gonna live your whole life, never have a headache, never have a stomach ache, never get a cold. You are delusional. But especially today. So just be aware that it helps to be challenged. It helps to be challenged. You know what I'm saying? So your body could fight it. You know, mentally you can get tougher. Things need to happen in your life. Your story is your story. And I don't judge it for whatever you're going through. That thing is, you can have been the worst of the worst. You could have made shitty decisions. You can have been a bozo. But the thing is, if you get tougher and a change does come, which I pray that everybody who's viewed in a terrible light sees a way where they can become a better person. And sometimes it's not just age, but age can make you better. You know, the older you get, you can start to realize. And I feel like anybody and everybody should have a chance at redemption based on the shit they went through to become a better and stronger person. And I still, as much, I don't want to get too harsh on the people who don't know nothing about what I'm talking about because they ain't been through nothing. You have no kids. You ain't never been through a marriage. You're kind of stingy, cheap, selfish. I'm sorry. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you raw. If you're stingy, selfish, cheap, you kind of hold on to things, right? Because you trying to make sure shit lasts. You trying not to end up in any kind of unnecessary debt. You trying to end up in a situation where you're always comfortable. That's why it's called selfish a little bit. You just worried about you being comfortable. I can't say I don't respect you. I can't really say that. But I can say that I needed you to go through some things to be a little bit tougher. Because at the end of the day, when you're done and life is over, you know what I'm saying? You have to know that maybe there's things you could have done differently. Maybe. And we're going to go a little more. I got a little more to say. So we rocking for a little more. That is big in how your life turns out. Because you can disagree with me totally, and it's fine. That if you were a little selfish, if you were a little stingy, you go through like majority of life, you have no kids, you never get married, and you can tell me, Hush, I have no problems. I have no stress. I have no issues. I am good. Are you saying that wholeheartedly, or are you ignoring the little things that may bother you about that? Because it may be minute, but something may bother you about that. Because that's cool. That's cool to think that you can carry it like that forever and never change and never think that you need anybody. And some people don't. Some people can troop the whole shit where it's like, all right, I don't need to ever get married. I don't want kids. That's your choice. Again, I don't want to get super religious on you. Especially women, though. More women than men. Sorry, ladies. If I throw religion in here, you were put here to procreate. You was put here to procreate. Fellas, you're not out the woods all the way. You were put here to multiply. Leave your name behind so your name goes on. If you live and you go and you don't have any kids, your name stops right there. It doesn't go on for generations. My cameraman, keep it going. No, I'm going longer. Maybe I'll tell you when. Your name is big. It's in history. You know what I'm saying? So you want to kind of carry it as long as you can. So I'm not telling you to go out here and have 20 kids, 10 kids. But you want the name to carry on. You may not care about that stuff, but that's how you keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were brought here. So that's a good argument and whatever, however I'm judged. You were brought here, right? You are here because somebody brought you in this world. So to sit here and say you don't have a inclination of trying to do the same is a little selfish. Because how did you get here? They wanted the name to keep going, so you're here. So you don't want to bring somebody here? It's like a pass the torch thing. That's me. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not telling you how many. I'm not telling you when to have one. But you don't think you should have one? Especially women? I know it's hard to choose who to have it with, when to have it. And that's, again, take your time. I'm just saying not to go through the whole life thinking you ain't supposed to have one. It's just crazy to me. But again, that's a part of that selfish, stingy. I just want everything. Some people have good things and they just want to keep it for themselves, and that's it. They don't care how long they live. They can live. You know, that's a good point too. You want to live 25 years, no kids, no marriage, that everything that you accomplished and obtained, you kept to yourself and you got to enjoy all of it, and you only live 20-something years? Or you want to spread the love, have a kid, possibly get married. You don't have to have all of these packages. But what I'm saying is, if you're the least selfish you are, you live 75 years, and maybe you don't get to keep all these things to yourself, but you get even more beautiful things, more good things happen for you, more people care about you, more people love you, more people are there when times are rough. Because you know what comes with that selfish, stingy shit? Very few that give a fuck about you. And that's fine if that's cool for you. You could say, I don't need nobody. Again, I've said that during this a couple times. If you're cool with by yourself, born alone, die alone, I don't care who really has my back, which, let me not get off track here. All the stuff I've been through, I kind of could relate to that. I am at a point where it really don't matter who has my back. But I also know I'm the least selfish, least stingy that I've ever been. If I ever been accused of being that, which I don't agree I ever was. But everybody has like a moment, a day. So I don't think we're all clear of that. I think we all had moments where we were a little selfish, a little stingy. You know what I'm saying? But there's some people who, that's them. You know what I'm saying? So if you're tough enough, you think, to handle being alone, especially in dark times or towards the end of your life, fine. But just know what that comes with. But I do feel, especially all women, you're supposed to have a child. You want to follow tradition. That's why I throw the marriage in there, because you're supposed to have marriage, then kids. Again, if you're religious, I'm only going off of what my grandmother taught me verbally, and she's up there watching, and she would love to hear that I remember that. So I have to give that to you, whether you fully believe it or fully with it or not. But either way, you're supposed to procreate. Get that name carried on. You know, if you're a Johnson, there's plenty of Johnsons out there. You're going to feel like, well, a Johnson. Your specific Johnson family, carry it on. It ain't petty like that where you got to have like an intricate name that no one has to feel like you have to carry on the name or not carry on the name. You know, your last name could be Willachunka. I'm being funny. That's just something I made up. But now what you going to tell me? Ain't no other Willachunkas out there, so you're not going to carry on the name? And I'm being funny. I'm getting at you because I want you to see the light and feel like your value is not determined by your baggage. Your value is not determined by your baggage. Anybody and everybody deserves a fair shot if they have learned from their mistakes and are moving in a better direction than they were prior. For the people who don't have baggage or no appeared physical baggage, like these things, kids, a marriage, a divorce, or whatever, you need to humble yourself. Still humble, because there's still something wrong, because nobody's perfect. And hopefully your humbling ways and you're helpful for others, whatever is wrong with you will become smaller, because, you know, good deeds don't go unpunished. That's about as real as I can keep it for you. So, again, everybody deserves a fair shot. Ask those questions on a date, though. Ask all the questions you want to know. I ain't gonna lie to you. You do want to know what you're dealing with and working with. But keep an open mind that that doesn't determine the value of a person. A lot of people get shamed. A lot of people get judged based on shit that has happened. Some out of their control, some within their control. But still, change can come. Sometimes time heals, time smartens, time makes you better. It's possible. It's not a wrap. Unless you just give up on yourself and say that it's a wrap. But other than that, you should be able to carry through and see the light. Everybody deserves a fair chance. Give it to them. Till the next time, holla. Be safe. I'm out.